thank you for watching Elderbrain's channels. We're playing Torrents of the Spellhoarder with April, Joe, John, and Tommy. I would like to ask you to introduce yourselves briefly and your characters, and let's jump into action.
Awesome. Hello, I'm April, and I am playing Mayra Deepscar of the Azure Abyss, a Triton Oath of the Open Sea Paladin.
Yay. Joe?
Oh, okay. I'm John. I'm playing Ko, the Echo Knight, who got the challenge to maybe find out his name, his earned name, and is thinking that over.
Ooh. Joe?
My name is Joe. I'll be playing Rax, and he is a Worm Slayer Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone, I'm Tommy and I'm playing Lars, or Lars for short, the young Bronze Dragon Ranger.
Exactly. A companion to Rax.
Companion to the nameless party.
A good buddy.
Alright, so last time we had a very informative breakfast with Sorian Finanza, the merchant from Santaros who knows the most about Santaros, the Isles of Santaros. He's been pretty shaken from last night's drinks, and basically you gain some level of insight into what's happening in terms of the composition of royalty, all the social structure and slavery wise and all these kind of things. If you have any more questions, he's available, and basically where we left off was I need to correct a bit of a time frame here, was that it's been a week on seas. So first of all, the last interesting encounter with or discussion with Sorian Finanza was that he showed you this item he's delivering to a certain lord called Lord Carnelis at the Isles of Santaros. This half oyster shell is which I'm going to show you again in a moment, has a distinctive text on it, and you've been unable to decipher it. This is part Elvish, part Aquan, the language of the deep sea, the ancient language of the deep sea elves. You put your heads together, some of you speak Elvish, some of you speak Aquan. You couldn't figure this one out, so you tried really hard. Everybody had their best guesses. Something resembled something and all that, but it didn't make sense. It isn't a long message or text. It's probably a short few words, inscribed on it, but you have been unable to decipher it. So
Right. At this point, we think that it says crab special on Tuesday.
yeah. Exactly.
But Arvan's sigil, or half his sigil is on the shell, so we did identify that.
Yes, you did. That one you did, and especially Mera did identify that. Knows the sigil well.
And sorry, the shell was in a repository as well, which is
yes. So the repository that Sorian Finanza places this back into is an obviously magical repository, like a small suitcase, like something you would hold your hat in if you have a box, like a
cowboy hat.
and maybe like a cowboy hat carrying bag. It's that size, and it has this rotating top and obviously very secure. He even calls it the reliable repository. This gem in the middle is quite big and glows with a reddish light. He trusts his device, and he leaves it in his room, locking the door and leaving it in his room. whenever he leaves.
Oh.
Joe is gone. We will wait
Rax
for
is
him.
on a special mission. No one's allowed to know.
Yeah. Let me see
He's
if I
sneaky
can get
that way.
him back. Ooh, he's back. That was banishment.
Well,
Or a maze, a spell where you quickly saved, rolled your int check.
what a terrible spell. I love
Yes.
Maze.
Oh
Awful.
yeah, we all know that one. So yeah, so he shows you weren't able to decide, and then a week passes, and during this week, of course you're traveling east. Of course there is Gix, who is Captain Gix Short Pebble. Let me show you the faces. It resembles one of our friends. So Gix is always busy, feeling good, like enjoying himself. So he's either on the deck, smoking on something, sipping on something, eating something, bossing people around, but just casually and making jokes and fun. And whenever there's a situation that requires his skills, which is basically navigating the ship through storms, then he looks quite adept. So Mera, your concerns with his skills in terms of we're having different you're considering different type of skills like combat, prowess, and his navigation skills are excellent. So he's really good behind the wheel. You had just one occasion, which was a severe storm on one of the days. It lasted quite long, and he's been, I would say he's been playing chess, with one hand and navigating the ship with the other. So he's absolutely cool with that. Same goes for Jade in terms of keeping the crew at bay. So Jade
In line.
in line, yeah. Jade. My English didn't improve over the week. So oops. Jade is, and that's not the size.
The relative size.
Not the size ratio they are in. Jade is really good with the crew who are really loyal to both of them. You see, Jade is very harsh in his demeanor. His demeanor is really harsh. He speaks very few words. He even seems quite aggressive from time to time, like over aggressive, more aggressive than needed, even if he needs to keep maybe a fight down or something. But he's really good at making the crew operating the ship and operating the ship itself, and also very good with weather. So that severe storm he knew like 3 days ahead. Everybody knew to be prepared. They knew how to be prepared, and it came exactly when he said it. So it like spot on. He knows weather.
And the winds didn't have any effect on Jade either.
Yeah, so he stands like foot firm, and not even his clothes move. Like magically, wind just passes him by. When he gets really angry, you can see these electric jolts on his hand. He can produce these jolts from his fist, and then you can see him. Just skill-wise, you can see him. Practicing some sort of a some sort of a martial arts, which is very clunky, I would say. Not really swift, but very clunky, like karate style. Very straightforward moves, and and blocks and stops and then regains stance and then another movement, and he just hits the mast, the main mast, like really hard when he's practicing, so the whole ship just kind of vibrates with his force. You know, he also
Remind
wears.
him that we need that. Not to hit it too hard.
Yeah, he knows.
We need that.
Geeks, on the other hand, he doesn't practice his swordplay or whatever. You know, he just enjoys life and just wants to get there and back and take the money. Okay, so the first week also mean, you know, the passing of the first week also means that the most perishable food are gone. So this means fruits, dairy products, fresh bread, and some of the fresh meat, which mostly you and the guests consume. Of course, some of it is also made available for the crew, but soon maybe not yet. You don't run out of all of them yet, but you know, you can hear that we need to reserve the meat, you know, the fresh meat, and you know, we're out of grapes, Captain. Well, we're out of grapes already. I told you to bring 2 boxes. Why didn't you bring 2? Blah, blah, blah. And you can sense that you're kind of shifting into the non-perishable food section of your trip very soon, which you have already checked. You have loads of fresh water, lots of oil, lots of wine, which he's selling and bringing to Santoros, and lots of food available. Of course, also lots of timber, nails. It's a well-equipped. Again, it's been resized. The ship has been resized to be able to carry a lot. So that's what they do. They carry a lot. And then we come to this point where I will just lower, make them actually disappear because they're on the map. So one morning, or during the day, after breakfast has been served, you hear the music I was telling you last time, and the crew just rushes up to the top, to the main deck, and to the front and back, and Gix is standing high on a stool or a chair and watching, and of course this has been so before you hear the music, which comes from quite far away, magically amplified and carried your way, you can of course hear the lookout from the crow's nest shouting, "Ship ahoy! Ship!" And you know, everybody gets worried. What kind of ship? This is open waters. It's very rare to see anybody so far out east. But soon you hear the music, which makes it even more strange. And then Gix kind of prepares himself. He talks to Jade very seriously. He loses his smiley temperament, you know, for a very short time, and Jade is nodding a couple of times and maybe even casts a spell with his holy symbol at hand, which is the holy symbol of the god of nature, the Eternal Mother. And everybody waits for the ship to arrive, which again comes with this loud and as it gets nearer, louder and louder, amplified music, which is very cheerful and it's like a marchy, you know, thing, like, and then there's violin and trumpets and guitars and drums and some singing even.
Some polka music.
Polka music. It's sea polka.
Sea polka. All right, Lars just takes to the air immediately, I think, and circles, checks out the ship from closer, and then circles back, and just to make sure that, you know, strategically they're not a threat. And so
let me take this for a sec, because probably you're the first one to encounter them in this way, because you just fly ahead of them, right? So you like fly out hundreds of feet to meet their ship. You can see this very decorated ship, lots of colorful flags flapping everywhere, and you can see a lot of people on board. Of course, it's there's a crew, but there's also a podium in the middle where there are these musicians playing, and they speak out to you. There's one of them, a woman with a guitar, which I'm going to show you in a moment, speaks out. Actually, I'll show you now. Speaks out to you and says that we're musicians on a mission. We're friendly. We're friends. Don't feel threatened by us, please.
Musicians on a mission. That's moms. We better be on good behavior.
John.
Oh my god.
Co's been thinking about naming our group. John's been thinking about every acrostic that our group stands for, and some of them are hilarious and some of them are not. Because you don't want to come up with a cool name and then it's taught in, for the acrostic. It just doesn't bring fear and responsibility.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're all quite a distance still from this ship, to the point where Lars is had to
what is
soar
the
out
distance?
across the sea to see anything.
Hold
How
on a
far was
sec.
it?
Hold on a sec. Let me place two images in there. One is the woman who speaks to you, and the other is just the general, like atmosphere of the ship. You guys can see the images.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let me position it so our kind viewers can see it as well.
I think Co subconsciously would just start tapping and not realize he's tapping as he's staring and waiting to know what's going on. Just his foot would be just tapping a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just for placement, Mayra has headed up to the bow of the ship. She has a spyglass, so she's pulled that out and is taking a gander.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you thought about placement. Yes, Co would be, as everybody else, gawking.
Seeing Mayra with the spyglass, as she's kind of looking through it, I think Rax would just kind of tap on the spyglass. What do you see in that?
Hand it over to him so that he can take a view.
All right, so Lars from up close and Mara later than Mara and later Rax through the spyglass. You can see a group of friendly musicians playing their instruments. Some of there are 40-50 sailors on this regular sailing ship. It doesn't have any siege weapons on it or anything like that. Some of these sailors listen to the music. There is some dancing going on as well, just a few of them, but most of them are of course operating the vessel and making it come your way. This woman stands and leaves, just holds the guitar and waves at Lars. They look professional. They don't get, they don't lose the tempo even when a dragon just circles around them. But she stops and waves and watches for the next move. But then probably sees your color or whatever. They stay confident and happy, and they try to draw closer. So Gix is when the ship closes in, Gix is trying to evade a bit and get into a discussion, and this discussion turns out to be the following. Jade stands next to him and shouts over to the other ship something like, "What are you doing here?" And then this music just stops very briefly, and this woman stands and bows towards the captain and Jade, and her voice again is amplified by magic and carried through the air, very clearly audible by everyone on your ship. And she says, "We are but humble bards traveling, collecting rare music, samples of joy. We are here to perform for you if you'd like, and we are here to request a performance if you can deliver one. And then she bows again. Jade,
Hand the spyglass back to Mayra.
Mhm.
Nope. Nope.
Gig stands up and talks something to Jade, and then Jade just says, "We're not making our fortune by singing or playing instruments." And then, turns to you if you would like to add something.
I don't trust musicians. There's certainly not that many of them.
Yeah, I think Mayra just puts up the spyglass and is just kind of keeping an eye on things from the bow, leaving it to Gix and
Right,
Jade.
Giggs just shouts really loud at Jade so that the other ship, the captain of the other ship can hear it as well, and says, "Well, we were never against some a good performance and some fun, are we, my friend?" And then he basically jumps on Jade's shoulder, and then starts shouting and, "Do your best and entertain us, please. We would be happy to hear a good tune and shake a leg." And then slaps the bald head of Jade. We will dance, and then these bards will just start performing, and they perform the same rhythmic, very energetic, happy song. And Gix enjoys it a lot. Even his crew enjoys it a lot. They start clapping and singing the main verse, with them, and because it turns into this sea shanty at the end, and then they all enjoy it a lot. Of course, the bards immediately find what they prefer, and then for this third song, everybody sings together this very, very famous shanty, "I'm not shaving the mermaid tonight," it's called, and they are all singing, "I'm not shaving the mermaid tonight, I'm not doing it," and then everybody's having so much fun except for Jade. And I don't know how you guys react to this. So
It's been a very long time since I've heard anyone sing, "I'm not shaving a mermaid tonight." That's a classic. That's a beautiful tune from my youth. I'm in all the way. And I think he would completely just head over and as close as he can get on the ship and just thoroughly have a great time.
And they all, on the ship, they just enjoy this very rare random encounter. Then Giggs just reaches into his pocket and goes to the side railing of the ship, and this woman comes over, and they exchange words. If you want to join in, you can join them, but they just exchange words and shake hand, and Giggs hands over yes.
Yeah, so when they come closer to talk, Mayra would make her way down there to hear what's being said. And when she has a moment, she'd like to just make a general inquiry of where they've come from and what they've seen.
Okay, so actually, most of all of these musicians just come. Actually, they come over. Giggs just invites them over. Just they drop a plank and he says, "Just come over. Just don't pull a rig on us, okay? Just no tricks. Just come over. We'll have a few words. I have a few shiny ones for you. Let's talk." And she comes over and she says, "Well, Captain Giggs, my name is Yelena, and this is my crew, and then this is my troop." And then she introduces the rest of the musicians by name, and a few of her crew members also come over, and they start talking in a group where you, Mayra, as well join in. So Giggs also asks, where you heading and where are you from? Oh, of course, take this little sign of our appreciation for the entertainment. And Yelena just bows and of course takes the money. And she says, "Well, we are collecting rare samples of music, any song or rhythm or melody that we can add to our repertoire, and we are traveling from the northern coasts of Warden. Well, we are not Warden ourselves. We're from Drael. We went up north to the coasts of Warden, and then we came down southeast in a wider angle, and we met a few ships actually over the past month, and had really been able to collect a few of those rare melodies that we are seeking. That's who we are, and we are heading home probably from here. I mean, we don't want to go any further east. Those are dangerous waters. A couple of weeks from now, but I guess you've as I see the trajectory. That's how you say it, right? The path of your ship. I can see you're heading east straight. Oh, of course we're heading east. Not everybody dares to do so, but Captain Geek Short Bubble and Jade Storm and the Sated Contessa is one of those ships that go to the Isles of Centaurus, make it to the Isles of Centaurus, easily come back and yeah, we're from we also started from Brine coast, and yeah, so they discuss all of that.
Ko, during this time, once the tension drops and like we're entertaining, he has a little bone flute that he tries to play.
Mm-hmm.
He would noticeable but not noticeable, trying to like play along but doing it poorly because he can't play, but wants to.
Maybe you can perform a nice turtle tune there. Just roll a performance, but by any chance.
Well, and that's just it. Like, I like this idea. He's not proficient.
Do it with a disadvantage.
but yeah. But
you just bargain the disadvantage.
He wants to, but he realizes he doesn't have the time or the skill. So a disadvantage roll. I like it.
So we're gonna find out if he's a prodigy. We're find out right now.
The moment of truth.
Didn't know
I like the odds of this. Right, we gotta be pretty on the die.
So close.
Yeah, so close. Almost surprised you and not. Yeah. So
you almost took a totally different path from a warrior to a bone flute playing turtle bard.
It's one of those other echoes. He's like, I wish I could have been that, but the sword sings to me too well.
So they are smiling, and very, very
politely.
Politely, yeah. And,
politely.
We would be very interested in any poems or whatever your people have, and so even lullabies they joke, whatever you have. This is the discussion they make. April, anything else Mara would wish to know?
No, her main thing was finding out where they were coming from and what they had seen. So gathering information about, water.
So
it sounds like they're coming from a different direction. So
yeah, they exchanged some drinks and more words, and then soon the ship, which actually should have a name, the Flying Tomb, it just departs and goes back western direction.
Lars adds that it might be good. It might bring good fortune meeting these bards. Seems like it should.
I don't disagree at all. A little bit of music lifts the spirits. It's nice.
Mayra was she's still trying to figure out. Oh, sorry. I just think I moved I didn't mean to do that. I think I moved it out. Is still trying to figure out about the shaving the mermaid, because that sounds absolutely gross. And she's got an image in her mind like filleting a fish and removing the scales, and she's just like, she doesn't understand why everybody's so merry about this song.
I think Rax would do his best to draw in his little notebook. Well, it's like this. See, this is. I want to draw some pictures for you, love. You tell me when to stop. Let's talk about mermaids a bit.
Yeah, well, soon you're back on the water. It's mostly good wind for the ship. Actually, taking you from like it's a western wind taking you to the east with ease. There are some rougher days. Again, Gix is very good with the ship. He navigates through these storms easily, avoids most of them, and again, Jade just predicts all of them very precisely. I would like to ask if Mara lost her interest in, or how do you say this? Lost her are you still worried about the trip and Morgar, and if you want to talk to Captain Giggs about this, or if you guys want to have an encounter, have a sit together with him at any time, because again, a week passes, the ship is sailing, food gets more duller and duller, more boring. Good wine becomes a bit watered down. It's not pure rum anymore. It's more of a grog, watered rum on the tables when you go for the harder ones.
Yeah, so I think possibly Chimera, being familiar with underwater foodery, I don't know, sea cucumbers, are those the point? I don't know, but
Delicacies,
yeah. So over the weeks that they've been traveling, she would try to help supplement, maybe going down underwater where she, if there's places that she's traveled before that she's like, oh, hey, there's a bed of kelp here. This will be really nice and fresh. You guys are going to love this. Put a little salt on it, some seaweed. And then also helping supplement the fresh food with like fishing. She gathers up schools of fish or whatever, and then they can pull it with and, maybe she does a little bit of, Triton of lightning and blast guys.
Yeah, like dynamite fishing.
But regards talking to Gix and Jade, I think definitely would want to approach them to ask about traveling through Morgar's realm on their way to Xantros, and what is the plan for this?
So with regards to seafood, whenever, I just want to note here that whenever the sea's calm and there's no wind or very light wind, they from time to time take their time, these down times to fish and to try to supplement the meals with seafood. They're very thankful if you provide this in large quantities and more efficiently than they can.
Lars can also help out big time with the fishing.
Yeah, and
Code want to get in that ocean.
And also, I would like to note that, and just add a few more moments of what the other guests do. So Lord Pritus Nerka is everybody's around, so nobody's hiding in their cabins. He's very reserved. He says that he's very excited about getting there, but he's kind of getting bored, and he didn't consider this trip to be so long. I mean, he didn't realize how long this 6 weeks on the sea could become. Soldrian Finanza gets more and more drunk. Like every second, third day, you can see him, like sometimes even crawling on all fours. Like he doesn't know his limits. So he's getting sometimes really wasted, and he just says that he's not doing business. He's in between businesses, and this is his pleasure time and leisure time and whatever, and he just this is how he lets the steam off between two jobs, and he gets really drunk quite often, with super hangovers, of course, in between. Yep.
Yeah, I think Mayra would, if he's actually to the point that he's like kind of a distraction because he's like crawling on all fours or really getting that, she would intervene at that point. Mayra approach him, lesser restoration, boost him up, give him a clear head, and then kind of put a very stern hand on his shoulder and say, your choice of fun is your own, but the sea and your presence here among this ship and with us, this is not the place for you to lose full control of your senses. So, restraint, or I will exercise it for you.
Well, he says,
she's such a party pooper.
well, first of all, he's really thankful for whenever you do this quick sober up.
Instant hangover cure.
Instant hangover to sober up.
Comes to your door.
and he praises whatever God comes to his mouth, mind at that point. And he's really thankful, but he seems to slip out of your this threat or this over how do you say this in English, this argument you make here, and you can see him in the same condition 2 days after, so
at that point, if he didn't kind of take the lesson and he's going through, she's going to try a little more direct intervention that is probably not so kind.
Okay.
So she would attempt, because I don't want to assume, she would at one point, if he's like sitting there at the edge of the rail, maybe feeding the fishes,
easily,
she would take him and say, we had this conversation. And if he's like completely blurry-eyed,
you're not my mother. Yeah,
right.
You.
He needs lesser restoration so that he's cognizant and aware of what's happening. Then she would grab him, leap over the side of the ship.
This is where he gets scared.
And she would dive. Let's see. You can take someone about 40 feet before you need to.
Right, well, you give
she
him
would
a beep.
dive through and kind of roll him there, and then just bring him in. But it's the ducking somebody's head in a bucket.
Yeah, he's
extreme version.
Yeah,
I think the second that you dive in the water with him, any crew member that moves, I think Rax would just put his hand on his shoulder. He's fine. It's gonna be fine. Just watch this.
Crow starts clicking. He loves it.
So you emerge from the water, hearing these turtle clicking sounds from above your head, and Sorian Finanza doesn't enjoy it as much as Ko does. He's like, I get your point, good lady Paladin. I really didn't meant to offend you with my behavior. I'm really sorry, and this won't happen again ever. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Then
2 days.
then later, some of you might catch him just drinking in like in secret here and there. But totally hiding from Mara and always like smiling and bowing very low when he encounters you. So
we'll have a conversation after with Mara of like, good job. He's probably going to do this again. Be careful you don't offend the crew and punish him.
Yes, and implying your militaristic order. But that's perfect role playing. He drinks in front of you like wine, this and that. But he tries to keep and fake a certain, balance with the drinks. Also, Kaduin Grillas becomes quite close to Solria and Finanza. They make good friends, both in drinking and they are the livelier kind of passengers. Of course, the same goes for Rex. They really enjoy your company. They have fun. They laugh loud. Gix is the same, joins you in the laughs, and well, of course, Father Volnir and Lord Pretus Nark, as I described, are a bit more reserved and keep to themselves.
Kaduin plays a lot of cards with the sailor.
Kaduin plays Spell Wars and all kinds of card games, even dice games, whatever games they can, they play together a lot of times. So, at one point during the next week, you find yourself in Captain Gix's cabin, which I'm going to. Can you guys please move just to show where we're at, into the captain's cabin, please?
There's a not awkward place to be. Not on the bed.
Okay, and I tell you all about it in a second. Let me see this, and let me see that. Okay, what was it? Page 98? The captain's cabin. Okay, so this massive cabin is spacious and luxurious, fit for the discerning tastes of the captain of the sailed Quintessa. The captain's large canopy bed is ornately carved, fitted with a mosquito net and made with silk sheets and pillows. Next to it is a nightstand and a small gilded chest of excellent craftsmanship. A huge wardrobe stands by the other wall, stuffed haphazardly with fine garments and accessories. Well, he doesn't keep an order in his room, so the doors are open for the wardrobe and you can see all of his clothes hanging out and stuffed in and pulled out and hanging from hangers and stuff. A large table spreads in front of the bow windows, laden with all manner of nautical maps and navigator's tools, including a spyglass, a sextant, astrolabe, magnifying glass, and a compass. In front of it is an elevated cushioned chair. Other valuables are spread throughout the room, secured onto wooden pedestals, including a broad jade vase, a statue of a mermaid, and an ornate standing mirror. So one of the first things you notice is the map on the table. Of course, the rest of the items are also of interest. Can you, please make yourself.
Is this the first time that we've been in here?
Yes, he invites you. Like Mara approaches him and starts asking about, about Morgar and the hazards of the trip, and then he kind of looks around, and we don't want to scare the crew and our guests. Please join me in my cabin, and let's discuss all of the details in private, please.
Ko would just shake his head. We don't want to scare and just follow.
I don't know how to make that smaller, so I accidentally made it
I
bigger.
will. Tommy, can you help, please?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
There you go.
She's just large and in charge. That's all.
I made it bigger, but I couldn't figure out how to make it smaller.
Just same way, just reverse. So
Yeah, well, I don't know what I did to.
I'm
Anyway, we're in the cabin.
I'm going to change the scene to the map for just 1 second. Get back to this scene. You see the map of the Kalhe Sea spread out on the table under these navigation tools. Can you see the map?
Yes.
So this is the map. Okay, you can go into more detail of this later if you want, but now I'm, just you can see this much. So if you want to lean over and check it, then please let me know. For now,
Yeah, Lars definitely wants to lean over and check it and memorize. Commit it to memory.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
well, we will discuss it in a moment. Let me just return the scene to where we're at. So, yes, please take over. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, have a drink, and then he hands out some glasses and says that this is what I call real thunder and lightning. Take a sip, you will see. Straight from jail, the best breweries in jail, and he hands over some very rough liquor, hard liquor, to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mayra doesn't take any, but thank you for the offer, but she doesn't take any.
Okay, well, the one he hands to you, he also drinks immediately as you refuse it, and puts the glass on the table.
You can have mine as well.
Oh, well, with joy. And then he didn't even pour you one, but now he pours one for himself and drinks that as well. Jade also joins in. Tommy, can you help me with Jade, please?
Yep. Sure.
Ko would try it. Goes up for trying at least once, and just one shot or whatever one round would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, it burns. So you have concerns, he says. Let me assure you. And then he puts on a very confident stance. Rest assured, Morgar slumbers during the high heat of the summer, and our way should be clear. I, Captain Giggs Shortpebble, savvy its ways, and have learned of its movements. If, however, the beast should rise from the depths, ye best make like a fish. No amount of hazard pay be worth facing the master of these seas. But don't worry, I have learned its ways. Within these 2 months, it doesn't move, and that's how I always make my trip. The rest of those ships that make their way in between Santeros and the rest of the western continent, they do, however, they can be afraid for themselves. They manage however they manage. But my tactic and my knowledge of this gap between his movements, I have studied its movements and the news about it. I am very, very confident that this 2 months time in the heat of the summer leaves enough time for anybody to move between the Isles and the mainland. So, does this answer your questions and just blow your concerns into away?
So we are traveling there under concern of the Sahuagin and their movements, as well as Morgar alone has the kingdom. The worry about the armies he commands, and as again these Sahuagin who are being particularly active.
I just heard rumors about the Sahuagin, he says. I have never encountered them myself. I heard they have been appearing here and there around Santaros. I can't even name the exact locations. I would presume the clans who are affected by this attack or these attacks are capable enough to handle them themselves. But who am I, Giggs Shortpebble, to talk Santarosian politics? I'm just a merchant.
Clever one.
Insight check, please.
Insight check, please. And I wonder why I don't see the dice rolls on
Did you say we can make an insight check?
Yes, please make an insight check. Yes.
Just to see to see it.
Now I see.
Oh.
Whoa!
I see a 9.
That was a 17. That was the
13.
first good roll I've had.
All right. The tables have turned. Well, look. The more you listen to this guy, the more you listen to him and see them, in action, and see them. How Jade handles how Jade just talks to the crew. You can kind of sense that they are not regular merchants, and from their stories, it all comes together to you that they are diminishing the significance of their previous pirateering practices. All of these stories that they tell about finding this and recovering that, and these battles, when they talk about battles and all that, you kind of put it together. They were probably ex-pirates.
No, probably.
But you don't have a
Right.
solid evidence.
Yeah.
But they look like ex-pirates very much.
Very good.
I was gonna have Rax jump in, but if I come to the conclusion that they are likely ex-pirates, then he's just gonna continue leaning back and listening.
Mayra didn't even clue in that she should be suspecting that they're of anything, because she was focusing on the fact that the cavalier attitude. So I think she leans forward and she kind of furrows her brow. If you run into something, we should be prepared. Better to prepare for the worst and not face it than not be prepared and have it surprise us.
Here.
Look at it from this perspective. You can probably tell that I'm not the fool to run into the maws of Morgar if I don't have to. I am not taking a risk. I am not taking my skin, for this. I'm not going to risk it. I am only working with solid plans. That's what I'm telling Jade all the time. Always have a plan. If we don't have a plan, I totally agree. And my plan is that I have studied these seas for the past years, and I know that within these 2 months, Morgar slumbers in its lair and doesn't appear. It doesn't have any. It usually doesn't, roam the waters like a chicken on the farm. It's just not. It's not running around. It's more occupied than that, and more less. How to put this? Less concerned about ships traveling over the seas and catching them, and just chasing these ships. This is a very intelligent Kraken necromancer with its own agenda. Of course, we don't agree with its ways, but it doesn't necessarily hunt you down if you're on the seas. In general, but in these 2 months, it never appeared before, and I'm trusting my informants, and I'm trusting our decision on this, which has proven already. This is proven. We've been making this trip every year, so there's nothing to worry about. Also, on the other hand, if things would change and Morgar would, for some reason, appear, I would say you don't make plans for combat, but you make plans for escape. And he looks at Jade. We have good plans, right, Jade? And Jade just nods. Yes. So make your own, because then everybody for their own,
How long till we get where we're going?
Well, I would say 4 more weeks, probably, before we reach the Ceros. Look, and he brings up the map. Brings up the map and shows.
I will say Mayra is less concerned about Morgar than she is about the Sahuagin.
Well, the Sahuagin I have no clue about. I've never encountered them. I don't know where they're at, I heard that they are in large numbers. It's not like 10 Sahuagin. It's like 4 parties of Sahuagin attacking Santaros or invading the shores of Santaros. But I don't know more than probably you do. It's just rumors I hear. Maybe your letter says more than I know. I don't have any idea about them.
You should have deep concern about all these fish faces. Imagine, you remember the other night we ate the big old fish that everyone caught? Imagine taking one of them and hold it right up to your eye so it looks huge, right? And then take a big whiff of its breath and then shake it around like, oh, it's trying to eat me. Like that all the time, but from every direction. You should be quite concerned about them.
I would be if that would be the case, but
That's the case.
luckily they avoided me and I avoided them so far. So this is the excuse me.
Call Hasty.
This is the Kalhasi, and this is my very blue pointer on the very blue map, which I don't know how to change the color of. Oh, here you go. It's red now. So, this is where we're coming from, right? It's called. It says, this is the Seaward Strait, the currents. Also marked on my map. Take us towards the Jade Bay and the Sita Scales itself. This is where we're heading. This trip is going to be over a week, so the rest of our trip is, of course, not highlighted on this map.
Well, I'm convinced that's all I need to see. I think Rax would sit down and just kind of thoroughly relax for the remainder of this meeting.
Once Jade spoke up that there's an escape plan, there would be like a noticeable relaxing of the shoulders. He'd still be paying attention, but that the serious one is confident would be at peace. There we go. That's the word I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mayra gives up. No.
Oh no,
Yeah.
she's been cursed by a weapon. We have to help her. We would never give
No,
up.
I think she's had her questions that she needs addressed from them.
Okay. So you have a chit chat with him, and then you leave his room very soon, and the days pass by. And I would like to ask Cole, actually John. I'm sorry, Cole doesn't have a 100-sided dice, but John does. To please.
But if this is a random encounter, I'd like to
Yes.
throw in a few quickies of maybe RP that Co knew about, if that's okay.
Sure.
Excellent. So at some point, he would take the father aside and kind of do the talk of when the yelling starts, you need to be ready to be a beacon of hope and light and not lose your cool. That would be important for Co, since it sounds like the father's never been out on in a place where things can go wrong. Just kind of prepping him, and if the father wants to do more, he would help in any way. And then if he ever clocked Jade doing his forms in the front, he would want to talk to see if they could share forms from Ko's training and backing to Jade's training, just to learn a little bit of a different style.
Oh, yeah, of course. So let's go step by step. So Father Volnir is smiling gently as you talk to him, and he is very soft spoken all the time. And he thanks you, and he of course admits that he relies on your protection if anything goes wrong, and that's why probably his lord has sent him under your vestige, that's how you say it in English, just to be protected, and where he's very thankful, and he even says a prayer. He says that he asks you to pray together, and then you pray together to the Redeemer and how important life is, and
See life.
sea life especially, and then he wanders into areas of life like like a bit of transformative philosophy of life and love, and then gets back to from love, he gets back to life, and then finishes with a prayer. Now excuse me. Now, as for Jade, you walk up to him as he's practicing his forms. First of all, you can see this is more of an unarmed combat style that he practices than a weapon combat. He is like, when you walk up to him and say, I would like to practice the moves with you, then he a bit puts the whole situation into this, my kung fu is better than your kung fu situation,
Yes.
So he immediately goes, do you think your style is better than mine? You want to teach me? He kind of takes it as offensive.
Yeah.
Or offense, I'm sorry. Offense. But then...
Go at that, we kind of do the bow of, being a master myself, I know many styles bring strength to each other when trained and reinforce our own styles. And I would humbly hope to learn a few things from you. And if you would teach me a little, I would teach you a little of mine to only hone our own practices more.
There is only one way to learn. Through the hard way.
Then bring it.
Then prepare yourself for battle. And then he stands like, mountain stands of the highest peaks. And he stands in a form, And then Iron Mountain stands of the highest peak. And then
I love it.
He just rolls for initiative without a second warning.
Excellent.
Is there any a crew member like walking nearby me
Of
when
course,
this is kind of breaking up?
there are.
Grab a hold of the crew. Oi, what's your name?
Jif?
Jiff, listen up. I've got about, I'll say 20 gold on the turtle. How about you?
I got 20 copper. I got 20 copper pieces and I put it on Jake. How about that?
I'll take it and
All right.
throw it down.
And shakes her hand. Shakes her hand and grabs your shoulder and I'm going to win so bad here.
All right, I help you out with Jade. All right.
Let me pull up his stats 1 second. Yeah, please, but I can pull it up as well.
Initiative
Oh.
one on an initiative.
What?
I was seeing that it's an unarmed combat style, even though it would be a penalty, would go unarmed too.
Okay. Very fair.
Yeah, because he's wanting to learn the style, and combat, you learn style.
Exactly. No, you will learn it, I tell you.
Looking at the crew member that's watching with me, I don't know the answer to this, but you think that turtle goes to the bathroom in that shell?
I got an 18
never
on
se-
initiative.
Hold on. I'm checking.
But if I
You-
beat him to learn the style, I would take a punch. I want to see the actual combat versus hitting a mass.
Okay, so what he does this very unnecessary preparing, with the stances.
Yeah.
So you can go first because he's pretty slow.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would do I think I would just open up with a simple and let him see the form enough, but just punch to the gut. Well, that would be a D20 plus my strength modifier, right? Since we're going unarmed. That would be a 17 to hit.
17 to hit. That actually hits him.
An unarmed.
Wait. Except for.
Oh.
No, that's not a reaction. Yes. You hit him.
Berserker Barrage!
I've now multi-classed into monk. Wah, 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 wah.
I need to refresh the Albert page because my dice tray is gone.
I'm genuinely amazed that it took this long for something like this to happen. I thought this would be like day 2. Here we are, week whatever. He's kind of little sloshed still from his meeting with the captain. Here we are, week whatever it is, and I'm just glad it's finally happening. I'm gonna make 20 copper pieces today, huh? Don't push me. I'm very he would kind of do this with the guy, like
Yeah.
like kind of like, hey, are we gonna go? And then he would just hold
Yeah.
on, I'm gonna sit down. Sitting down.
That's Tommy. Can you please put the characters in place somewhere on the display?
sure.
And let me navigate there, and also
1 second.
like the top deck up there.
Jade.
Wherever.
Start
Good.
clicking for Co.
Oh, then
I'm a regular turtle translator. I can tell you what he's talking about when he does it.
the turtle whisperer.
The turtle whisperer. Yes. So you hit him. So what's the damage?
He wouldn't be using claws. He'd just do punch, trying to mimicking the style. What 1d4 plus strength? That would be 6.
All right. So you hit him,
He can resist it.
and
wants-
he feels like stone. You know, his
Oh.
body feels like the iron stance that he took. So in such a complicated form of it. It's like your hands hurt, you know, and there is no sign of pain or whatever damage on him. Then he just looks at you for a millisecond, and then he releases a barrage of elbow and knee and fist kicks and hits at you, like really relentlessly, you know, like
Goes a fighter. He understands.
yeah.
How many attacks? 4 of them, yeah? I count.
It's 5 attacks.
5 attacks?
Oof, there's a 1. So
My-
it's,
my-
23, 28.
But yeah, 23, 28 hit. He wouldn't be using his shield bonus, so his AC is 17.
I don't think the rest hits. There's a 15. So it's 2
I think
hits.
I think especially since this is the beginning round, like every hit exchange, Co would be getting happier because it's learning, it's different, it's something he's not seen.
I don't know how happy you will be about this, because this is, you start out as a very friendly sparring kind of experience, and it turns out to be this vicious barrage of hit, you know, strikes against you. It's two of them hit. I will roll the damage.
He can do a stunning strike as well, by the way.
Yes. It's let's do averages. It's 16 damage,
Okay.
and you need to roll a Constitution saving throw
Excellent.
against.
So does it look like Jade is trying to hurt him? Not just
11. Oh, go. Go ahead, April.
no. Go ahead, John.
11 on the Constitution save.
11.
Yeah.
Well, you feel this final uppercut into your it doesn't go into your jaw, it goes more into your neck, you know, and your breathing just stops in the middle, and you're like and then you're stunned for a round, and then he just leans closer and, so what did you learn?
Am I
Did you
stunned where I
learn
can't
enough?
even, am I stunned enough where I can't even speak? Oh,
Excuse me, my
drink
Jade
something.
voice just goes.
yeah, I was gonna say, drink a little bit. That
Yeah,
was because
drink
off,
something.
and I think even at this point, even if it's getting a little vicious, you would just see the smile of Co of like, I'm ready for more. This is just the first round, you know, like I haven't. The fighter in me is wanting to really see something wow, and it's like, well, yeah, I've been stunned in a round of combat. Come on, yeah.
While you're stunned, he just leans over to you, like down on you, and says, you know, like, Did you learn enough? And then he turns around, shows you a back and walks up the stairs.
Yeah, stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly.
Yeah, well, that's one round. So next round, you're able to put he's up the chair. The stair, I'm sorry. And he doesn't even look back on you.
Right.
And shouts to one of the crewmen, "What are you looking at? Do your job." And the guy next to you, Rax, I'm sorry, John, one sec. Rex is like, next to you, is like patting your shoulder and says, "So, what was that?" 30 copper pieces, right?
Well, hold on a minute. Well, he just gave up. He quit, so we're done. Is that it?
He didn't
Fine.
quit. It was a
Fine.
clean defeat.
Here, I'll tell you what. You take this and enjoy yourself, eh?
I will in the next port, of course.
As Jade walks away, Ko would bow in a very honoring way and say where everyone could hear, "I look forward to the next lesson where you would teach me."
Yeah, I'm like shouting back. Yeah, the next one. Oh, you had him on the ropes, mate. I saw him walking away.
Thank you, Rax.
He turns back very slowly, doesn't say anything, and then carries on with his walk and walks away. So, time for random encounter. The magic dice. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's still moving. 52.
52, let me check. So, another week passes. My random encounters. There we go.
While he's looking at the random counters, I think Ko would also follow up with Mayra, and Ko would follow up with Mayra and say that even if he meant it for ill intention, I want to learn more, and taking a few hits is worth it to me. Thank you for looking over and watching me.
Okay.
I do not understand your ways, but I respect your ability to stand for yourself.
Thank you very much. That means a lot.
He's such a nice turtle.
Yeah. So
He's my favorite turtle.
So it's nighttime. You are out on the main deck, and of course some of the sailors are around, and Dix is somewhere, Jade is somewhere, but some of the guests are here and there. Kaduin Gvilas is maybe with you and talking. Father Volnir is there as well, listening, but keeping very silent as he always does. And then all of you please roll a perception check. The higher
As we roll, Ko would lean over to Rax and show that he's got one of the kisses of the lucky lady, and say, "You think it's still good? It's been like 2 weeks."
Wait, what is he showing me?
The dessert from day one. He snuck one, and he's looking over.
No. Hold on. Don't eat
Sure.
that.
Sure.
No, definitely don't eat that. But you might want to say that, but throw that at someone you don't like. Don't eat it.
He's smelling it. Do you want it?
No, I don't want it, but I do have a question about food, if you don't mind. Go, I've never seen you go to the bathroom.
Do you want to see me go to the bathroom?
No,
I don't forget you go to the bathroom.
Here's what I want to know, because here's my thought. One day that shell was going to fall off your back, and old Rax is going to be there to pick it up.
Good.
And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to put it on the wall of my big fancy house that I'm going to buy when I retire. And when all my illegitimate children come to visit, they'll come on inside, see this shell, and I'll say, that there belonged to my friend Ko. He's a prick, he's a hero, and that's the shell he shit in. But I don't know if you do.
I don't.
Oh.
Turtle anatomy, there's a lot that we can hide and poke out, if that makes sense. And if that's the short answer to many questions.
It's a good enough answer for me.
Glad.
I got a 17 in perception.
What's
Net
on?
2027 for Lars.
And I got a 22.
All right, so Lars, you're listening to Tortoise Anatomy, and and then you look. You know, you're by the sea, you know, by the railing, and then you see over, onto the sea at the night, under the night sky. You see something glitter, kind of like shiny. The light of the moon just reflects on something very small on the,
How
on the
far?
dark water. It's like, I don't know, 60, 80 feet from the ship.
And there's moonlight, kind of moonlight.
Yeah, but it's a dark sea, you know, so
Okay,
it's just a very strange thing that
There's something in the water over there.
there's a metallic shine to it, you know, like
I point it out to everybody. I'll check it out.
so Ko also sees, and anybody above 20 can see this. Celeste comes into play. No, that's what you want to show, Rex.
if he says there's something in the water, he would immediately just pull Celeste out and just lean her against the railing.
Yeah. This huge crossbow. All right, so you fly out, and you circle once, twice, and you can make out a shape floating in the water. And as you go lower, and of course you have excellent vision, you can see a chest. Just
How big is it?
Oh no.
it's like a good coffer size, you know, like
Dragon.
Can I land on it? So I mean, does it support? Is it big enough so I can
so
like
you
support
land
my-
on it, it just submerges and comes up again.
All right, but I just want to check the weight and how heavy is it? Is it?
Like
I would say be careful. Be careful, like
I check under it. I check under
Yeah.
the chest as well and look
It's-
around in the
it's
water.
it's not that heavy. It feels lighter than it's not that big, but it floats, so it's not too heavy, and it's probably full of air.
Right,
And
I
probably
sh-
airtight, you know.
I shout back to the ship and relay the information, and I ask, like,
You can
I
easily
guess
pick it up.
Should I bring it aboard? It's a chest.
Looks like someone had a bad day at sea. Yeah, bring it on.
All right, so shouting starts, and then crew members just gather there and start. What chest? What chest? What did he find? What did the dragon find? And then you claw into this, grab this one of the holders of this chest and handles of this chest, and then you fly up and bring it on
Wait, Joe.
in front of you. Joe's gone.
Nope, Joe's back.
Wait, I need to get this through. All right.
So I bring the chest aboard.
You bring the chest aboard, and a couple of the night shift crew members also gather, and very soon Captain Geek's short double comes in his pajamas. And I was ready for an early sleep. Everybody, please back up. And then you have this chest there. What is this?
I found the chest.
This chest is made out of wood. It has some iron. What do you call this? Like covering on it. The edges are inlaid with metallic parts, and it seems there's some kind of a rubbery material between the top and the bottom parts. So it's probably made airtight and waterproof. Please,
Real
Mary,
quick.
please, April.
Yeah, just really quickly. When Lars brings the chest on, Mayra is keeping her eyes on the seas in case the chest is some kind of lure or, oh yeah, come. And then you all get distracted, and because that's the thing he thinks about. So she's just keeping an eye on stuff.
Or a mimic.
That's
Is
being
it
fish
a
for
mimic?
dragons.
It doesn't immediately go to mimic. I don't know if they have those understood.
And the chest looks really old and has probably been in the water for a long time. It is covered with algae, and the wood has darkened.
Is there a lock or a padlock on it?
all
Or
that. There is a lock on it. Yes, there's a lock on it, and it's locked. again, a few minutes pass before Geeks arrives, so you have some time before he arrives. And
Should I open it? I asked. Okay, I use a little,
New
not a little,
thumbs up.
but like the dragon claws to try to claw it
I
open.
love when he does. I love when he does this.
well, you can always roll a dexterity check with a disadvantage.
I was just thinking using strength to.
Okay, then use strength. That's different.
He's like, I got my lock picks right here.
John's curiosity just is piqued. Is Gix dressed too much in night clothes? Like there's way too much clothes for night, or not enough clothes for night? Because the mental image goes so many ways with Gix.
He's actually in his pants and a very loose shirt, white shirt, which is not buttoned up to neck. But he only arrives when we will see what happens. Tommy,
21. 21 is the
so
strength.
you crack it open. You put your claws in it, like crash the lock, and you open it up. And this is when Gix walks in with Jade behind him, and
Right on time, isn't he?
what is this found? What is this you found? And back up. It can be dangerous. You know, just back up a bit.
And then Kogo's full like stance, shield, and sword. You know, just boom.
But I flip it open.
All right.
Go stand behind Mayra.
You flip it open. Well,
Mayra's still looking out over the water and kind of.
Oh,
scanning.
never mind. Go stand near her.
Yeah, she's waiting for an ambush of some kind because.
so as you
Enjoy that aura.
As you open it, you can see that the inside of the chest is also covered with this rubbery substance, and it's made out of little subcompartments inside for scrolls. There's lots of paper scrolls inside this chest.
I take one out.
Numerous.
I take one out and look at it.
You take one out
Slow lard.
and you unscroll it, and it's something you can't read. It's just some
kind of
runes.
script and runes.
So whoever is spellcaster or more well versed in the ways of the in Arcana in general, like Jade, these are magical scrolls, he says as he leans over and looks at one of the scrolls that you have pulled out, and actually he can read scrolls, right? I mean, if you're a spellcaster, you don't have to do
I don't know
too
if
much.
it's school specific or
It
class
should be
specific.
I should rule, but I would rule it's class specific, but he immediately recognizes the scroll and says that these are druidic. But this is druidic. The spell. This is a druid spell on this scroll.
What kind of spell? What
It
does
allows
it do?
you to speak with animals. This one, and then this.
Gracious.
And then this one, he just he grabs reaches into the chest and pulls out like 3, and opens one of them and says, "This one I don't understand," and then throws it back. This one I don't understand either. This conjures animals. I know this one.
This is a blessing.
Some of them are druidic for sure.
If nothing else, it'll fetch a pretty penny when we get to where we're going.
Well, says Captain Giggs. Well, we have found treasure and we will share it like we should. Right, man? And then all of these guys, the crew members, yes, Captain! Fair share and double for the captain! Exactly.
Wait a minute, this fella right here already took 30 gold off of me the other day from old Stunny Boy. Oh, we gotta share this treasure with him.
And how is that fair if you were sleeping?
Oh, whatever.
I turned to the captain.
Whatever
This is
treasure
not
we
just.
This is what happens after 4 weeks on sea, lads.
Whatever treasure we find, we share. This is my ship. I make the rules, and you comply with them. Right? Says Geeks. You can. You know what? I'm in a pretty good mood tonight. Whatever Jade can. Does any one of you. Or is any one of you able to use these druidic spells?
I think Rax, he has access to magic as a ranger at his level, but I don't think he would even have any clue whether he would, and would probably just keep a distance from it just in general, without even checking, be like, oh, no way, I'm not a druid.
Yeah, but actually speaking, animals is on your list, I think.
Oh, totally. I'm sure there's quite a few things he probably could, but he would just assume, oh, it takes a lot of time to look through all that. Nah, that's not for me.
Geeks, you can immediately see.
Too many words.
No need to roll for an insight check. You can see that he wants to, be on the better end of this finding and deal, and he's immediately making up these rules and says, okay, so all the druidic spells Jade can keep, the rest is yours. How about that?
Sounds
You have a
good.
deal? Alright. So, Jade, look through them. Now you can roll an insight check, please.
They're all druidic.
Do you let him just pick whichever he wants, or?
I think
Mayra
Black
also
at this
has
point
access.
would turn around and lean against the rail with Mayra.
Yeah, I think Ko's opinion is that it's the benefit and it might be used. So it's only if Lars wants to claim his share would he change his opinion.
Yep. I think that's where
The
Mayra
dragon
is.
is.
We're supporting Lars.
Yeah.
Give the dragon his due, fellas. That's the rule.
Right. This is 20 scrolls. Jade looks.
Oh my goodness.
Jade looks through them.
Thank you, 52.
And takes a couple. Takes about. Let me see here. Well, he takes. For sure.
He might not be able to cast higher level ones. I guess.
He can. Everybody can cast higher levels of scrolls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them he takes. Well, I take this one. Oh yes, this one, and of course this one, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and then throws back 11 of the scrolls and be happy with the ones. And just put back.
Lars, why don't
All
you
right,
take
Geeks, let's go. And they immediately try to depart. Quickly go back to their room. And Geeks is like, all right, so let's discuss the nature of these scrolls now, please. And come with me, Jade. And then they walk back to Captain. Come to my room, Geeks. Jade, come to my room.
All right, everyone, back to work, eh?
I think Mayra, it is a beautiful night. So she's going to go back to the rail and the bow of the ship and just watching the beautiful broken moon as it shines.
Mayra,
Broken,
I've got a
yes.
question for you.
I have an answer.
On the surface, there's things people do that are a bit of a relaxing nature. You've seen some people enjoy a pipe. But if you're under the water, then it's not possible, right?
To enjoy a pipe underwater.
Right.
This is your question.
Well, no, it's not my question. That's the beginning of my question. My actual question is this. what sort of relaxing things do Triton and, sea folk sort of enjoy if you can't have a pipe? Other than, having a drink or something, what you do to, I don't know, bring on some relaxation that's not just like relaxing, sort of third party stuff. What you got?
Well, there is a certain sea urchin that
Ooh.
can lick, and it induces strong visions of and feelings of euphoria.
No shit. Back up a minute. It's a sea urchin, you lick it. Well,
Of
listen,
course it can
I'll try
also-
anything.
You have to be very careful about how much you ingest, because it also can send you into a catatonic state, paralyze you, and you will die a slow, agonizing death, unable to move, but completely aware.
You're a bit of... Right. Well, if you see one, let me know, because I'm super down to try. I mean, I'll try anything 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times.
Co would pipe up and saying, music is very different under the waves.
Right. It's just a bunch of... That's a
Right.
joke. It's a bit of a surface joke. It's not. Maybe it's not appropriate.
What happens with the chest and the scrolls?
Yeah, Lars would show the scrolls to Mayra because some of these might be useful to you for your prayers.
Thank you, Lars. That is most considerate. And Mero would look through the scrolls.
You're a very thoughtful dragon, Lars.
So there's a couple of spells that you recognize. One of them is Aid, Bless. There are some you don't comprehend, and there is basically these 2. Aid and Bless, and then there's more that you don't, you just don't understand the nature of the magic inscribed on the paper.
We'll show them to somebody who...
Please make a note. We will get back to this. And you have a watertight, waterproof chest as well, which can become very, very useful.
Right. So
So would we know?
scrolls, which means we have 9. We've identified 2, and then there's 7 scrolls that are that we don't know.
Yeah. Also add no druid scrolls. Lots of them, many of them are druidic scrolls. So another week passes by, and again we're at night time.
Are we on the map that you showed earlier? Have we reached that point where
You have yes. On this 5th week, you have entered the map area, and you're on the very western section of it.
Okay.
When one night, just I don't know. Let's roll. Please, 3 of you. So Mara, Rax, and Co. Just please roll a d20 and see who rolls higher. I just want to pick one of you
I rolled an 8.
randomly.
13.
That would be John. Cool.
Cool. Okay. So, you are asleep in your shell in your bed, and when you wake to a very loud knock on your door, and it's actually a series of very aggressive, loud knocks on your cabin door.
Oh, open it.
So you don't really need to dress. You just go to the door and
That's true.
and open. You just roll off the bed and land on your feet. Very, very.
I guess to add, he
easy.
wouldn't put on his helmet, he wouldn't grab his sword and shield yet, but they are within a step or 2.
Of course, within reach. No problem. Yeah. And you open the door, and there you see Captain Geek Shortpebble standing there with a very unfamiliarly serious face, staring at you.
Yes, sir.
And behind him, or actually, I'm sorry, in front of you there's Jade with a very serious face, and behind him with the same serious expression stands Captain Gix, and says the following. Please move aside. We need to search your room.
April's
Who was?
She'll be back.
Excellent.
Should I continue?
Yep. Well,
Co, without moving, would say.
Wait, 1 second.
Oh, you want
I just want to.
pause.
I would just like to continue. I just checked if April I could put her back. So Giggs from behind Jade, who was knocking on your door, says the following. I could say I'm sorry to intrude so bluntly, but I kinda hate waking to have one of me passengers murdered. It's bad luck, and it's bad for business, you know. Please step aside while we conduct a search of your cabin for clues. And then Jade just pushes you, like leans against your body weight to make you move out of the.
This
the door.
guy.
Co would say. Co would just simply step out of the way and say whatever I can do to help. And I guess I would add that little nuance of since there was a reason given. If there was no reason given, he probably would have protested a bit. But murder on the ship, he'll move out of the way.
So, without any further explanation, Jade walks into your very small cabin and starts to turn it around and looking, under your mattress, under your bed, under everything, and then draws out the desks, drawers of the desk.
Co would hold his bag open. He has a couple little bags that have like nothing in them, but he would hold them open for them to look through.
So you can
I love Co.
You others can hear the commotion from
Just
outside.
wait till he gets us in trouble, though.
yeah, Lars peeks into the to the area there through the doorway, just putting.
So this is very, very, very early in the in the morning, and you guys hear this commotion from outside, and actually Jade doesn't really make it subtle, so he's like, "Are you hiding it here? Move aside. I need to search this as well." And then
I can hear that commotion outside.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Rax is going to open the door. Oi, keep it down. Some of us are trying to sleep.
Rax, get on up.
All right.
Why?
I'm assuming, can I hear it as well? I'm
Yes,
assuming
yes,
we can all
yes,
hear
yes,
this at
yes.
this point.
Yeah, Co would try to yell it enough to make sure everyone heard, since he had the excuse to
Right.
let everybody know.
So in that case, come out of the cabin. What is going on?
So, Geeks, as you come out of the cabin, you can see a couple of other heads poking out. Crew members, including Grillas and Necra, and Captain Geeks Shortpebble turns to you and says, "Sorian Finanza has been murdered on me ship. The dead body was found when a sailor brought breakfast to the merchant's cabin this morning, and we are conducting a thorough search for clues. Everybody get back to your rooms. We will get to you very, very soon."
If we are interested in discovering the murderer, then gather everyone and I will discover the murderer.
I've
Here,
seen
here.
her do it. Backing up as Mayra's talking, go back into my cabin, and I think since a week has passed, Rax has been collecting urchins and testing different urchins out. And so he's going to scoop them into his pack just in case any of these are should not be found. He's going to
Especially decide to do a drug raid.
from under. Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's the fuzz.
Yes.
Putting them in his haversack and then seal it up. Yep. Murder on the ship. Terrible. Terrible.
So this is where we are going to continue from next week. I would like to thank you, And we would like to ask you again, me and Tommy, to listen to your feedback on what's happened, what your takeaway is. Of course, we will go into more detail of the murder mystery on the Sated Contessa, and the investigation that you might want to conduct. But for now, on the previous events that have unfolded, please go ahead. Tell us your thoughts, April.
Oh, I saw you raise your hand, Joe.
I'll go after
sorry, I
you.
just wanted to go in.
I'll go after you. Go for it.
Yeah, no, I just want to say really quickly. So, a lot to unpack there, but can we just take a moment on the map for the Sea of Calthe and how I loved that map. It was so gorgeous, and all the I hope we are going to get to experience.
Show it a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. It just takes time. Sorry.
Show that beautiful footage.
My clicker is so slow. Here you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna get in trouble on the Calthe Sea.
Yeah. And these are only the publicly known areas.
Yeah.
There is 51 areas altogether.
Yeah. Wow, I love that. Okay. Alrighty. Now Joey. Sorry.
No, I was just a couple of things. Number one, it was so good to spend I think an extended period of time with a crew, or to know that weeks pass. So often, even though it's like fast timing. Okay, another week passes. For me, it was really cool as a player to think about, well, what is Rax like on the fourth week at sea? What are the temperatures of the crew like on the fifth week at sea? What kind of, how is this going? What strain and stress is there on everybody? And that was very cool, very, very cool to see. I also really enjoyed the interaction between Jade and Ko, and I especially loved seeing the way Ko was with it. I think it's not something that, even though Rax sees Ko as just having this massive, just this big heart, he's like, that's a good, listen, I don't know a lot of good people, that's good people, but seeing the way he handled that, all he could think of is like, I know what I would have done in that situation, but look how this was handled. And I think it raised Ko even more in kind of Rax's mind, where he's like, that's a good guy. It was very cool, John, to see the way you kind of chose to do that. And I loved also that, I'm sorry, I'm just talking and talking. I love that Jade like called out his stance.
Yeah.
I thought that was so much fun and such a great moment. Like, you just don't see that happen in a lot of campaigns where someone like calls out their moves, and it was very cool. Anywho, that was my immediate.
Thank you. Yeah.
If I can follow up on that, like,
Please.
I love the dynamics of very different and unique personality types, and depending on who you decide to interact with, can change that experience over and over again. There is a replayability, so to speak, there, of like, oh no, I'm going to concentrate here or here, or my personality would lean this way or that way. Like in a very slow campaign, I think Ko would have like sat down with the father and had lots of talks, or like backing it up or whatnot. The Jade combat was just awesome. Like, I like that he wouldn't have taken any gruff and he wouldn't have held back. Like, oh, it's so much fun and good, and that it would have been just kind of normal and no one on the ship would have reacted. There was a lot of things we didn't say that created a mental image for me that I think, because you wrote in great characters, just came out easily.
Yeah.
It just requires the interaction.
Sure.
Nicely done, the two.
Yeah. So I think there was. I've been very hesitant, and we've been discussing with Tommy to drag out the journey longer or not.
Right.
Before the next phase of the story starts. I think this few sessions that we had on the sea with just random encounters and spending time with Geeks, Soria and Finanza and the other NPCs probably gives the feeling of the travel. And things are going to rapidly speed up from here. I must say.
The events.
Yeah. So, go ahead,
Can I add one more thing?
please.
I'm very excited. I'm not excited that there was a murder on the ship, but I am like, we do happen to have a paladin with us. He's like, oh, get
So
ready to find out what happened real quick.
Yes.
Like he's rather excited to let Mayra. He's like, I'm gonna go hide behind her. She's got.
She's gonna police it out.
And good catch, Joe, last time, because you mentioned that it has the vibe of a
Cluedo,
like
yeah.
a whodunit
Yeah.
kind of vibe at the dinner. So
Yeah,
that
we
was a
were-
good catch.
Yeah, we were laughing about that after. Yeah. But then that means that the vibe went through and the setting is
Yeah.
is good, and
Yeah.
I'm really glad you enjoy it. We will see next time how Mera just finds her way through
The
the mystery,
Inquisition.
how she starts the Inquisition that nobody expects yet, and how things turn out next week. So thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to John and April and Joe from Twice the Dice for being with us on this journey again. Please do visit their channel where they play Crown of the Oathbreaker. Twice the Dice is linked in the description below. And please check out elderbrain.com if you're interested in Torrents of the Spellhoarder, and catch us on Discord anytime. Please like and subscribe, and please do join us next time for the Inquisition from below. From under the sea.
Title before we even get there. Mwah.
Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone. Again.
Thanks.
Bye bye.